Hello travelers, Tara here, and I'm going to be doing an open reading. I promised all of the folks on Twitter that I was going to be doing an open reading on the royal family situation, and so I was doing a bit of shuffling and the cards just dealt themselves. 3 cards came out. I'm going to put another shuffle and a rifle on these just in case I need to pull one more card or something like that. To see, because you guys know I like for you guys to see me pull the cards. I was reading something somewhere on some website where people were complaining about how long it takes for tarot card readers to shuffle, or that they never see them shuffle the cards. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and then let me show you the cards that fell out. Literally fell out of the deck. The 3 cards that fell out of the deck in this order: the Queen of Pentacles. Can you see her? And she's pregnant. If I am not mistaken, this is the Ace of Swords. But there it is, the Wheel of Fortune there. Okay. And then the 10, 11, 12. The 12 of Moons. This is interesting. I don't know what it means. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around. And I'm working on my lighting, y'all. Trying to get there. And here are the 3 cards. And that's literally how they fell. Okay. And I hope you can see those. I do have the Sibilas here. This is... so what do I have? I have coins, a swords, and a cup card. Ends and a cup card. So I'm going to shuffle these just a bit more. Then I'm going to look at the interpretations of these cards. Okay? And see what they say. I find it very telling, first off, that the Queen of Coins fell out. Because if I'm not mistaken, I was reading an article yesterday over on Jessica's website, where she was talking about her predictions that she made a couple of years ago about the Sussex. I can't even say it. And so far, she's spot on. But I did not know until after I had read her article that, if I'm not mistaken, that Miss Markle is a Taurus. So let me get my books. And let's just see what this has to say. There's a trusty, dusty Nostradamus. We're looking at the Lady of Spheres. And let's see what the quatrain has to say here. Actually, she's not even the queen. No, because it's a sun. So that's a Queen of Wands. My mistake. My mistake. A Queen of Wands. Well, we could say on the one hand that Miss Markle can present herself as a Queen of Wands. We all have the ability to embody the different suits ourselves. Well, born into the world to a furtive concubine, at 2, she is raised high thanks to the sad news. Well, basically, it represents Lucrezia Borgia. And we do know that she was a pawn in the policies of her father, Rodrigo, who ended up becoming the Pope, one of the popes. And then there was her brother, Cesare. Now, it says she was married 3 times to a succession of noble princes, all for political gain rather than love, and gave birth to 8 children. Well, we shall see. The key words are feminine charm, sweetness, business acumen, sympathetic companion, and consort. Well, and I guess if we want to look at some type of, I don't know, correlation, the Borgias were a very, very powerful family. And in fact, they pretty much ruled, I think it was Florence, for many, many years. They had many, they were almost like royalty. They were never kings or queens, but they were influential enough that in effect anything that came down from them was almost like a royal decree. Okay, let's move over to the Ace of, there are no major arcana cards here, so this is the Ace of Stars, because I keep telling you guys something isn't right with this picture. Ignorant jealousy is held up before the great king. He will propose a defense of the writings. The upright is intellect, triumph, aggression, passion, overwhelming power, cutting to the heart of the issue, initiating ideas and plans. The reverse of this says punishment, excessive commitment, anger, threat, embarrassment, foolish behavior, and paranoia. Let me go back and read the reverse of this Lady of Suns. Now, the reverse says kindness, benevolence, envy, extravagant, and deceitfulness. And it ends with 10, 11, 12 of moons. Now I have a 13, a 1, and a 12. And whatever this represents, let me go back and read it. Let me go back and read it. Intellect, triumph, aggression, passion, overwhelming power, cutting to the heart of the issue, initiating ideas and plans. Punishment, excessive commitment, anger, threat, embarrassment, foolish behavior, and paranoia. Interestingly, this refers to, let's see, it is the sword of light, which is said to represent truth and justice, and to burn away all untruths. A hand holds a sword which is surmounted by the 8-spoked wheel and draped with a scroll, suggesting that its fiery and piercing rays are always present in our lives, and that knowledge yet waits to be written on the scroll. So I do feel that there's more to this story to come. I do also feel that Oprah Winfrey will be pulled into this. This is an Ace of Swords. We are dealing with thoughts, perceptions, belief, ideas, and communications. We know that the interview was quite, I don't even know the word for it. Not necessarily shocking. What portions I did see, because I didn't watch it, was very reminiscent of the 1995 interview that Diana gave. And in fact, I feel, and what my guides are telling me, is that this is something that has been practiced. This is something that has been thought about. I feel Miss Markle is aligning herself, or attempting to align herself, as the tragic figure, like Diana appeared to be the tragic figure in her tale of woe. But she is not Diana. This is the difference. And I do feel that in a sense, she is kind of leading Harry down the... I don't know what the last thing was that you heard, but I was saying that I find that her interview is almost word for word the exact same thing that Diana was speaking about in her 1995 interview. If you will even go back and look at when Meghan has made appearances in public, when they were still allied with the firm, as they call them, even her choice of clothing is very, very similar to that of Diana. And what I was saying was that I feel that she is trying to portray herself in the same light that Diana portrayed herself. In other words, there's this somewhat of a victimhood. Now, this doesn't mean that I get that she experienced racism. I get that. And she did. But by the same token, I mean, I had never heard of this girl until it was announced that Harry was going to get married. Apparently she was on a TV show, one that I never watched. But yet and still, for her to be in her 40s, to have had her own career as a movie star or what have you, I think she is quite well versed in understanding what the media is, how the media works, but also how to manipulate the media as well. So there have been plenty of people that have been on Twitter that have been hating and sending out ugly messages. I don't dislike Meghan Markle. I don't know anything about her. And I'm not advocating and rooting for Henry. Why? Because he's not my friend and I don't know anything about him. But there's something about Miss Markle since the moment I laid eyes on her that just never sat right with me. And I don't know how this is going to go. But this card speaks to a truth. Okay? And because it is a swords card, this interview was given underneath a, what do you call it? A Mercury retrograde. We're still in the post-shadow phase, right? And that wheel, the Wheel of Fortune, turns. So I do feel that in some way, shape, or form, this is going to backfire. How? I don't know. The interview, it's going to backfire. I do also feel that Miss Winfrey, Oprah, will kind of be caught up in it as well. That struck me as well. The last card is the Initiate of Moons. The new philosopher of single mind has already perceived the moon in the depths of night on a high mountain. Well, it speaks to secret knowledge hidden just below the surface. This person is gentle with a daring spirit. In an ordinary world, the person is an idealistic charmer, dreamer who charms most people find hard to resist. A sense of otherworldly glamour hangs about them. Again, a secret knowledge hidden just below the surface. As a guide, the person is second to none. But also as a friend, the person is a rock upon which you may rest in a time of need. However, in the reverse, the person can be deceitful, seductive, a cheat, and a trickster who will lead you astray or encourage you to do the very thing that you should not. The upright is invitation, proposal, arrival, conquest, a lover, union, compliance, and attraction. The reverse is guile, seduction, fraud, cunning, a cheat, a trickster, a villain, and deception. It is not reading to me at the moment of the reversed. It is reading in the upright. We know that the lover, the union, compliance. We see him, Harry just kind of following along, putting in his words here or there, but he's being led. And I feel in some way that Miss Markle is really, really honing in on the idea of his mom, okay? And she's using that in some kind of way, shape, or form. I want to pull one more card to see. I'm going to definitely take a look at this Ace of Swords right in the center here, because the interview did happen under a post-Mercury retrograde. It is the post-shadow phase. So I'm going to pull one more card to see if they can give me some idea of the outcome, because you know what this looks like to me? Remember that thing the Queen says that they were going to do an investigation, they were going to be discussing it and talking about it, and they were going to, you know, get to the heart of the matter? That's also what this says. It is the Star card. And what stands out to me, particularly in this card, is the ram. The sword is pierced directly through the ram. Can you see that there? That's the ram. And see the sword? So we know that Aries rules name, brand, reputation, image, face, shape, social media. It rules all of those things. Okay. And so this is why I say that interview, given when it was given, I think will come back to bite them all. The Star card says, and it ends, or over the whole reading, is this Star card. And the Star card, two great masters will be joined in one yoke, and their great strength will be enhanced. Well, but who is the master? And what are they trying to strengthen? It speaks to some type of alliance. Now, there's a prophetic alliance to the U.S.-Russian alliance of the 23rd century. But that doesn't quite fit what I'm feeling about the card. I think there's something else in the works for this. I think that that first interview is not the last interview. I think there will be some new kind of, I don't know, drama, for lack of a better term, that's going to come forth. I'm going to take my Sibilis here. Queen of Wands. We know that she's very resourceful. She does a lot of charity work, and you know, Jessica Adams mentioned something in her article about this new product that she's launching, something called Clever, C-L-E-V-R, that has been endorsed by Oprah. I don't know if that is now the way that she is going to try to... Remember, they stepped away for their own financial independence. But I'm not exactly sure what that's going to mean in terms of what their obligations are towards the royal family, because they were complaining that they have to use their own money for security. I mean, they stepped away. They walked away and said they wanted to be financial independent. So you can't cry now that they're not providing things for you. Why? Because the British citizens pay for all that stuff. So I kind of get the sense that this could be an issue for them going forward, this new product line that either, I don't know if she's developed it or she's going in with somebody else, you know, she's backing it from somebody else. If there's going to be some kind of backlash, maybe for taxes due in England, I don't know how that works. I don't know what their tax code is, so I don't know. But this to me looks like some people going over some stuff. Okay. That's what it looks like. So we want to look at this Ace of Swords. It is the Vedival. The Il Nemico. Wow. And the Prigione. Three of the most negative cards in this deck. Let me tell you what I'm looking at here. I know there was a big question about who was talking about perhaps baby Archie's skin tone. That is Kate. My guys have told me it was not William. It was not old Prince Philip. It was Kate. So let me tell you, these are all spades cards, by the way. And so the Vedival as a situation, we could even say maybe it's Harry, who is still maybe traumatized by the death of his mother, or is still haunted by that. I know that I can remember watching those two little boys walk down the street holding their heads down behind their mom's coffin. I know this is the royals do things in public. It was something public, but that was really a tough thing for them. So I'm quite sure that this still affects him. It says it describes someone who has suffered intensely and who has been defeated by the hardships of life. Now, we can say, well, Harry's, privileged, this, that, and the other, but I'm quite sure that scrutiny surrounding the death of his mother and all of the things that have been swirling around it, it's very difficult. I would think that to be for anyone. It can also indicate difficulty in interacting with people, other people, and warns of difficult times ahead. It can indicate dislike, hatred, and resentment between people. The person will feel left out in the cold and no one will be there to help them. They will feel utterly alone and helpless, as if someone has pulled the rug out from underneath them. Someone they used to rely on for support will not be there anymore, and they will withdraw their help. Now, in financial matters, it represents financial loss, dismissal, a lack of money, or an unwanted business trip or relocation. Generally, an additional layer indicates great distances, so it can also refer to foreign countries or to the word abroad. In other words, we know that Harry moved. Here we have the Il Nemico. Now this is a person, and so the question becomes, who is this? This is the Knight of Swords in this deck. And basically, I know I've been seeing a lot of chatter that, he and his brother are become enemies. I don't think there will ever be a reconciliation between the two of them. I do not. And who knows? Maybe this person can be someone can speak to his brother, but I don't think so. Now, it says that this card represents an enemy, someone who seems very nice, but somehow does not inspire trust. Now, this card usually represents a man, 99% of the time, but we can't discount the idea that it is a woman. If it is speaking about a woman, the reason this card has shown up is because this indicates a known enemy, whereas the La Nemica, the female version of this card, represents someone who is unknown to him. Okay? Now, it says that financially, it indicates snares, tricks, the danger of signing documents we do not fully understand, and business people who should not be trusted. It refers to known competitors and to embezzlement, as well as marking the person it refers to with a good dose of inexperience. Usually, they do not have a clue what they are doing, regardless of their immovable opinions and or rigid outlook. It indicates cunningness, someone who watches silently and plots against you. The person's warped perception only fuels their vindictiveness. On a broader level, it is the harbinger of unpleasant events such as scandal, gossip, pettiness, threats, blackmail, and something or someone who will become dangerous. It indicates someone with a forked tongue, a spreader of lies, maliciousness, and gossip. And finally, this card, the Prigione. Now, this is a quite interesting card to me, because it represents anything that chains a person to a situation, another person, or an idea. So what we're looking at is addiction, dependency, an abusive relationship, physical subjugation to another, incarceration, or figuratively being prey to one's own fears and emotions. It highlights a condition of helplessness, being powerless to change events. Whether this powerlessness is actually real or a figment of the imagination is usually told by other cards. Well, I'm not pulling any more cards, so we don't know just yet. It shows a stumbling block with impotence to face one's destiny. But it also indicates a situation of deprivation, isolation, and of a lack of support. It acts as a warning. It warns this time of one's potential loss of freedom and of situations of subordination and subjugation to another. It says if the 7 is near, and it is not. It indicates serious legal problems. It indicates punishment to be expiated, a difficult commitment that has to be seen through to the very end, humiliation, debts, the presence of enemies, and of an adverse destiny. Again, we're looking at legal problems here. Financially, poverty and misery on all levels, a lack of financial means, or the inability to find a better job. I'm sorry, this is not funny. Basically, however, the card says that the person will have to develop the tools to free themselves from this condition. Okay? And as you can see in the card, there are several steps a person can take. There is the unbarred window, okay, which is a window of opportunity. There are three steps to be taken to solve the situation or the necessary action. A banister, which offers support after the first efforts have been made, and a vase indicating receiving the wisdom and the lesson learned, and eventually a way out, which cannot be seen in this card. Okay, we don't know what the way out is yet. Now, it is also connected to pregnancy. And this could be the idea that maybe someone feels trapped because of a pregnancy. Okay? Or could be. I don't think this is necessarily the case with him at this moment, but he very well could come to feel that way later on. I'm going to pull one Golden Nostradamus card. Maybe this isn't telling you what you want to know, but I can tell you that what it is saying is that this is not the end of that situation. There is more to come. And the truth is, right now, even though Miss Markle has the spotlight, this is all going to come back down on Harry. I don't know who the hell Henry is. It's interesting. One card, Golden Nostradamus. Number 5, it is the Gauntlet. This card says, look, you guys, I've been feeling this, the Gauntlet. Let me tell you what it means. Those too free with flattery and praise seek to deceive you and make you your prey. You will face a challenge or a duel with someone or a confrontation with your own shadow or limitations. A potential lawsuit will arise or may arise. That's what I have for you. There is more to this story. More will be coming out. And I do feel that at some point, Harry's going to snap to, and he's going to see exactly what's happening. Now, this doesn't say anything about what's going to happen with Miss Markle, but I think she is very clever. I think she is very charming, very beautiful, very intelligent. But from the moment I've seen her, something just doesn't sit right with me. And that whole idea of copying Diana, it's such a weird thing. It's really like this obsession, really. Go back and look at the clothes that Diana wore at certain events. Remember when right after Henry, why do I keep calling him Henry? After Harry and they left, and she had that beautiful white dress on. Remember that? And they drove off in the little sports car. It's the same damn dress Diana had on when she came to America and danced with John Travolta. It's just a different color and just tailored a little bit different. It's the same dress, same style, same cut, everything. So go back, compare pictures of clothing, listen to the interview in terms of not just the issues that she's speaking about, but the words that she's using. It's almost as if it was the same interview. The only difference is she had her husband sitting next to her at this time. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I will be keeping up with this little by little, and so I hope this helps. And until next time, namaste. Thanks, Jessica. I had posted that video and scheduled it to come out when I realized that was the Queen of Wands. And I was reading Jessica's article, and she was talking about Uranus and Taurus and how Harry's Taurus, how they've got a bunch of things that are aspecting each other in their charts. And suddenly, 2 hours later, I remember Jessica said that she is a Leo. And so that Queen of Wands is definitely Miss Markle. I just had to come back and correct that because I had called her the Queen of Coins. Then I said that's because she was a Taurus. Then I'm like, no, but it's actually a Queen of Wands. And I was explaining how resourceful she was. No, she's a Leo. And that is why that card came out. So I just had to clear that up. And I'm going to have to amend that whole video and tack this on the end. But that's it. It just dawned on me. So that's it. I just had to clear that up. I wanted to straighten up the record. Miss Markle is a Leo. And she presented herself pregnant in the reading. So that's it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.